let's talk about what was as incredible performance as we've seen all AFL season from Saquon Barkley. So he goes out there against the Los Angeles Rams, rushes for over 250 yards, accounts for over 300 yards from scrimmage. Does Saquon Barkley? He's an elite class of guys in history to have 1,600 rushing yards, 12 touchdowns, and 6 or more yards per carry over the course of his team's first 12 games or 11 games. The only guy who's been able to say that, or the other guys, are Jim Brown and Walter Payton. So he's an elite company. I'll ask you to start the show, Paris. Is Saquon Barkley thus far the MVP of the National Football League?
He 1,000% should be, but how the NFL runs things, he will not be MVP. It happens every year. We saw it with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry went over for over 2,000 yards, and he wasn't able to be MVP. So the sad thing comes is Saquon wants to win MVP. He has to hope either Josh Allen and Lamar start losing, which that's almost impossible. And he has to have another 200-yard game again in the season, which for Saquon's not impossible, but it's hard to do. The thing he did last night, 255 yards, it showed. We haven't seen somebody run that much since 2009 from Jamal Charles. And 70-plus rushing touchdowns. We haven't seen that since 2012 from Maurice Jones-Drew. And that still only puts him in third place in the MVP voting right now. The NFL is made. QBs win the MVP race. As long as Lamar Jackson wins, as long as Josh Allen wins, he's not going to win it unless he can do another 250-yard run again. And, I mean, is it possible? Yes. Honestly, at this point, anything's possible. But the odds are it's not going to happen. He's going to miss out no matter what he does. If you're a running back, it just doesn't go to you. I mean, to me, I could see either Saquon being MVP. I think Joe Burrow should be MVP. This man is third in passing yards. He's first in passing touchdowns, second in passer rating. And he didn't even play this week. He was on a bye this week, and he's only down by 30 yards passing. And he's down in 8th place. So it goes to show you have to win games. The Bengals are struggling. And you just have to be a QB. Saquon, no matter what he does, unless they just start giving him the ball and he starts throwing touchdowns, he's not going to win the MVP race this year.
Yeah, I mean, it sure seems that way. And again, like you said, it's such a, not even just the NFL, but football as a sport is so quarterback-centric that they just have an inherent advantage. It's going to take Saquon doing so. If he's able to break Eric Dickerson's rushing record, single-season rushing record, maybe have a conversation. Adrian Peterson almost did that back in 2012. He's the last non-quarterback to win MVP. We'll see if Saquon breaks that mold. I'll go to you now, Arthur, on this question. Should Saquon Barkley be the MVP of the National Football League, or at least through 11 games, the MVP frontrunner?
Listen, dude, I'm going to say the same thing that Paris said. The difference is, for me, a lot of the season, I had Derrick Henry as the MVP favorite, even though I knew he wouldn't win because he's not a quarterback. Again, as what Paris said. And he was, in first and knowing everything, but the Ravens haven't been giving them the ball. So that allows Saquon Barkley to get first in carries and now first in rushing yards and things of that nature. But now I'm going to have to go with Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen is playing amazing. Joe Burrow, as Paris said, he's playing amazing as well. But Lamar right now, 3,053 passing yards. That's first in the league. 27 touchdowns, tied for first in the league. He only has 3 interceptions on the season, tied for 53rd. Rushing for 599 yards, and he has 3 touchdowns. They're playing well, right? They're looking like a well-oiled machine when they run the football effectively and give it to that guy in the backfield, number 22, Derrick Henry. But he's, he's still Superman, right? And he's got another Superman right behind him again in Derrick Henry. But Lamar Jackson has been playing phenomenal. He's been able to really throw the ball well. Again, 27 touchdowns to 3 interceptions passing, rushing for 3 touchdowns as well. So, yeah, I'm going to have to give it to Lamar, man. He's been able to do it all, improve, and got this team in where they are right now. I think your mic muted, Brody. I think your mic muted. I can't hear you.
The mic is muted. The mic is good now. I apologize for that. This is why we need contestants, just to hold a host accountable. Listen, whenever I'm a guest on the show, my point total is gonna be like -25. I'm gonna be in the hole big time for all the mistakes I made. No, but again, to your point, what Lamar Jackson did so impressive is 3 touchdowns against the Chargers defense. That's been great all season long on Monday Night Football after that tough loss to Pittsburgh. So kudos to him for that big time bounce back performance and a good take there from Arthur Hurst. I'll finish now with Tyler Reddington. I'll ask him. Should Saquon Barkley, through 11 games this season, or through 12 weeks really, should he be the MVP of the National Football League?
Yes, I mean, we both acknowledged, everybody acknowledged it's an uphill battle when you're a running back. But if you just look at it, most valuable player, yes, that's what Saquon Barkley is. I mean, in the first game against the Packers, he had 3 TDs, and he's carried this 9-2 team. He's carried them to 9-2, and this has been an abysmal year as far as just, Nick Sirianni going and cussing out fans and hoopla here, hoopla there. Nothing positive surrounding this Eagles team, but yet Saquon Barkley, 5 TDs in his last 5 games. I mean, he's first in rushing. He's in attempts. He's first in yards. He's 4th in TDs. This guy is just unbelievable what he's doing for this team. Also, he's got 1,200 yards and 9 wins. They got 9 wins. He's got 1,200 rush yards. This guy means most to his team than any other guy. Let's go ahead and give him MVP.
He's been fantastic. I love the stat that to me says a lot. Is what are you doing in the wins? What are you doing in the winning efforts? Like, I know Paris obviously brought up Joe Burrow, and it's a fair point to make. And what I would say is, as great as he's been, you can't blame him for the losses. But again, in the wins, what is Saquon Barkley doing? See if we can join everybody back in the frame here. Yeah, I think it's a layered conversation now. Anybody trying to act like Lamar Jackson or a Joe Burrow or a Saquon Barkley has the MVP, with a stranglehold. I don't think that's the case. We still have 6 weeks to go in the NFL season. Thanksgiving coming up. So there's plenty of guys. By the way, maybe an unpopular take. The way he's playing lately, it's at least on the board that Patrick Mahomes could get in the conversation based on team record and based on his recent stats, lately. So that could be an interesting conversation to have as well. I can go put up the point totals right now. Arthur, I'm going to give you the best take, my man. I'm going to give you 5 points to start the segment. For Tyler, if I can put him up, I'm going to put him at 3 points. Paris at 1 point. So we got Arthur, then Tyler, then Paris